Okay, yeah, we appear to be live once more. Gonna hop into the game. Gonna check that the stream health and everything looks the way it should. We have a... Ooh, that is... that actually looks pretty good. That's a sandstorm that is just either starting or ending, likely ending. Together with the sun setting. It's quite a nice visual. Yeah, this game does have its moments with those. So yeah, for today I haven't actually made any plans on what I'm going to do, so I'll pick something in a minute and start working towards that. As I was mostly just working on a video that I just finished uploading and should be live, which is at this point actually scheduled for in 2 minutes. And then it will be live, and as I was waiting for 18.2 confirmation that 18.2 didn't fix anything, which it didn't in the end. I'm in a striker set. I don't actually remember why I am. Oh yeah, actually I used that for in the video just for the visual of it. I'm just briefly going to check. So one of the things that I did do, I got a few hours in the afternoon to play, and I did finish off the league completely, also getting the Confused and the Disrupt Stone. That's usually what I always do. It's not recommended to do that really, but this one is quite easy, so well worth doing. One of the things I kind of want to do is just maybe farm some keys, as yeah, getting the apparel event is of course pretty good. But I'm also not in a hurry with that, really. So I'm going to start off by I'm briefly going to check actually how much countdown requisition coins I have. Just short of a cache. One thing I want to do as well actually is, I think as it is Wednesday and Cassie is now available, and I haven't checked her yet, so I'm gonna go do that. And yeah, I'm just gonna use the tactics that I use in my that I've shown in my snitch guide as well. It's gonna fast travel over here. Quite often he is here and I've just logged in, so he should not be on cooldown. And yeah, usually is it the first or second one that you try to fast travel to. Okay, Cassie is right over there, so I'm gonna go say hi to her. And let's see what she has available, just so I know. And likely I will hop into maybe some countdowns, maybe some descents. I don't believe I have anything specific I want to... Actually, there's one specific thing I do want to farm for, so I might make an effort towards that. And that is to get a closer chest, because one of the things that I actually want to rework as one of the builds that I have on my radar to update is actually this PFE. I've already actually altered it to be an AR. The way it is in my build collection still currently is that it is saved as a pistol one, but I almost never use it in that capacity anymore. That used to be a little bit useful for especially Legendary Summit. I used to slow boat through it with that build a little bit, and it kind of worked. But nowadays, especially with Striker, with even Heartbreaker, and there are better options just because we have more damage nowadays available to us. So I'd much rather use those. And this one is getting a rework to be an AR based one to work well for, because that's basically how I've used it several times already in this setup for Countdown, especially. Because I do quite enjoy PFE builds for Countdown, just to be the person that goes after all the objectives. So yeah, as always, the first two items are shared with the countdown vendor, so we already knew what they were going to be, and also they share all the stats and such as well. So you should always buy these. If you want them, you should wait for Cassie and buy them from Cassie, because credits are much easier to get than these requisitions. And the other items are, of course, just unique to her. Just gonna briefly go through all of them, and sometimes she does have something useful. For instance, a few days ago, of course, I was farming for Eclipse parts with crit chance, crit damage, so she might have had one of those and such. I am actually also working my way as well to getting an Eclipse, hazard protected Eclipse, and yeah, if you had any parts for that, that would have been good. But yeah, she doesn't have anything really useful. Seeing as I'm set up as the PFE already, I'll just jump into a countdown. I'm going to set my target loot to Usina Getica, as I'm then looking for a closer chest. And I want to get one with crit chance, crit damage, so I can reroll the core to red. Although even with this one, I could actually have a blue core one. But I really want to have a red core one, because that I can use as well in one other build that this character has. So I can basically double use it. And what I'm planning to do basically is to have this chest become a closer chest. Now, of course, yeah, I could have that blue here, move the blue away from holster or the knee pad or the glove. But I would basically need to make a new one, although I likely have improvised pieces on my stash, or actually this character even has this glove that could be a replacement, but I would rather not double use it. So what I really want is, yeah, to have a closer chest, rework this to be around spotter. So I'll be giving up firewall at that point with a Grupo Vigilance backpack. And the reason for that is that currently I don't really have a good second brand to put in here. So I could go Fenris, but what I usually run this as, even though it is saved with that LMG, is usually that LMG gets replaced with a Scorpio. And I basically use both just as much as the other. So that Walker and Harris kind of made sense, especially there's a Matador as well. So it's the perfect one, and with Intimidate. But I'm not completely sold on this setup. So I'm thinking of going closer chest, perfect spotter, technician, flatline weapon. So Kingbreaker in this case. So yeah, that's really nice and hard hitting. And then a Vigilance backpack. And in that case, then the Grupo, because the closer would be taking up this spot, I would have access to a Grupo backpack. And that also would put me at, I believe, 56 crit chance. So that also kind of works, because there'll be other Coyotes, even though I'll be mostly close range. But then the Coyote that I have also kind of works in mid range. And that's basically just to rework it to be a little more, what I think will be a little bit more generally work. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that. I'm just gonna go challenging countdowns, as I'm mostly after gear and challenging countdown. Per hour, if you were to compare it, is basically more loot per hour than heroic, even though heroic, of course, gives a little bit more quality. But I'm willing to invest quite a lot of... I'm willing to basically spend 500 of these points if need be. And there's also just a warm-up, because I haven't played today. I've mostly worked on... Or well, I have played a little bit earlier today, but I mostly worked on that guide, reworking everything, and making that video, which is... just going to double-check that it's actually live. And it should be, because I... and it's already gotten a few views, which is always nice to see. Especially for...
Black Tusk have taken the power plant. Looks like they've triggered the lockdown protocol.
My idea always was that who would watch what I want to... Like the things that I'm making. As they're way too long, they're not that well edited together or anything. And I'm also always very much a realist, and one of the things that I actually always have enjoyed through the years is looking at stuff that people do that don't seem to have much going for them.
Rogue striker drone.
We have a striker drone.
Hostile striker drone detected.
I don't see where it went. But yeah, especially a long time ago, I wonder if anybody remembers those YouTube times. There used to be a new tab on YouTube, and I quite enjoyed always. It's almost basically nowadays as with Reddit, sorting by latest. As yeah, you see all the posts that mostly nobody sees. Videos that will be on like a few views. And I always find that quite interesting. And I was quite afraid, of course, always, that my content would end up the same way. That's also why I was hesitant to work on that for the longest of time. But I'm happy that that turns out to be not the case. So yeah, containment is what we're skipping. So yeah, reactor turbine. At least that's likely what we're skipping. Although, yeah, VIP at containment isn't actually that. This is quite weird. I don't know why they went the further one. Because what is the final? Oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. Then we can go in a straight line.
Rogue incinerator turret detected.
So I should have paid attention to the map more.
Turret detected. Rogue sniper turret detected. Hostile sniper turret detected.
And yeah, I'm hoping that eventually on Twitch it will end up the same of having a little bit of a viewership, having some people quite often have a few regulars, which I'm very happy for. But yeah, it is. I know it is going to be a little bit of a grind on Twitch.
Incoming. High risk hostile.
Was my expectation from the start, so and I'm willing to do that this summer.
Area secure.
And I'm not under the impression that what I'll do will be really that great, or that many people will watch it, but at least enough to for me to have fun, for it to feel worthwhile would be decent. We didn't get the chest yet. I'm running around as a headless chicken. There's the chest popped. Trying to catch where that mic sound is coming from. That is one of the players' mic that is open. Because yeah, I would rather mute them. I can see it now. Yeah, moving on to the next objective. And yeah, this is with a team that seems pretty competent. So I'm just headless chickening behind them, and they're taking care of everything. Somebody went upstairs, but they don't seem... Oh, okay, no, they have already destroyed it. Yeah, these ones can be really quick if people just beeline it for the... I need to be more close range than I am. Trying to snipe from distance with a weapon that doesn't do it well, and my talents also aren't conducive to that. Gonna check this corner if the chest... No, it's open. That one is always in such a dark place that it's difficult to see. I'm gonna try to get 3 shots on them just for that, so that they stop running. Even though that was way outside of optimal, of course.
Area secure.
And yeah, this closer has been... oh, it's on the balcony, which kind of sucks, because that's gonna be quite a run. Get up there. But yeah, this closer has been one of the items that I've been farming for quite a while. I used to have one, but we had that moment several seasons ago where they messed up those items, and once they fixed it back up, it was no longer crit chance, crit damage one that I had.
Agent, you've reached the administration building. I need you to fix the...
And while trying to reform it, I just haven't had any luck on this account. And it has somewhat become my white whale. As for, yeah, several 100 summit floors I've had using a Gettiga as my targeted loot, and
Find the server.
haven't gotten that one, haven't gotten a skill haste repair skill, the setup backpack either. So at this point it's basically the game's going, checking if I'm more stubborn than it, or if it is more stubborn than me. Gonna check if I'm gonna go for objective.
System malfunctioning.
And after the objective, I'll go check the other two chest position. It wasn't in the back in the office there. That one was open.
System back
I
on.
don't know if they'll... Okay, no. they already stepped out. So. We don't need to both be here, but I don't trust... He already stepped out once. I'm just gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna leave. He seems pretty content to stay in there. Hopefully he will. And if he doesn't, I'll go back for it. But what I'll do then is go for the balcony over there, because that's usually the one that people don't go for. Although somebody is already there and going for it.
You're a pro. Now, just
Are they going for it? These are the questions of life, of course. They don't seem to be. I'm gonna go do that. They're walking away already.
High risk target detected.
Because yeah, here, while killing of course also matters, the thing that matters most is to get these objectives done. Gonna hang around here, because in a second, once we get these two done, of course we'll have all three pop up. So once the launch server is done, and I'll be around here ready to trigger this one right away, and hopefully my allies will hit the other two.
Whoever said tech support was boring. One more server and you can reboot the system.
I'm getting this one.
Warning. System breach. Initiating safety protocol.
High risk target approaching.
That one seems to have two people on it, and that one as well. Oh, actually, that doesn't look like someone's touching it. Now it does. But even if they don't, I'll go do it myself. Because yeah, we're 4 people there, but no one... But this one is done, and now I'll go do the other one as well. I have somewhat of a shot, even though I won't have any talents up. And that's really why I kind of want to make this a spotter build. I think it's better to have a little bit more range, and I can make a Kingbreaker work. This objective is almost done, and then that'll spawn the boss.
System rebooted. Communications restored.
Good work, Agent. You saved the plant. Move to extraction point. When you're ready, send up a flare so Torres can pick you up.
And what I'm mostly after is that'll be the named chevrons, of course, because really all the items I'm after are all named. And sadly, outside of the the few brands that, well, the Electric that is overly providing it's named, most other brands aren't broken like that. So I'm stuck slow farming it. And hopefully, as long as I keep at it long enough, eventually we'll get it, hopefully.
An agent has disconnected.
And worst case for now, I will actually swap in just a blue, because I do have a blue cord one, because they do drop with blue core, so there, that one is a lot more easier to get.
Get on that helo. You've got hunters in.
And that one, and then I would move one core around or do it with 4 cores.
System restored.
Somebody put a drone on me that I really don't actually want to have on me. I'm gonna move across. I see this hunter on this end, but I really don't want this drone to be hijacked.
Rogue defender
Yeah,
drone detected.
thank you very much for the...
Hostile defender drone detected.
That's coming from a 2K Plus player, which you would think at that point somebody would have told them. That was a setup, hopefully one that I'm after. Something else is getting hacked. Oh, Jesus Christ. There's no one under a K, and choices like that really are frustrating.
Hostile striker drone.
Shoot off a flare when you're ready for Torres to bring you home.
System curtailed.
And yeah, I just run interference and run in there. I'm gonna berate my allies in a second as to the choices that they made there. Which luckily, with them not calling them in right away, we get the time to actually hopefully influence them to not do that in future runs.
Hold tight. Helo inbound to your location.
Briefly gonna make sure that the stream health and everything is okay while we're waiting for Chopper to come in anyway. Actually gonna check what that setup was that I picked up. Yeah, not what I'm after. Oh yeah, the skill haste repair skill one is the one I'm after. We should be able to do one more chopper, seeing as it should be coming in right now. Yep. As long as most people hang around. Because yeah, we have about, we'll be able to reach it with 15 or 10 seconds left, but I might get one more loot drop out of it. But the important thing is to grab everything and run. Because yeah, we don't want to miss out on extraction. So yeah, 140 coins. We had 7 of the 8 hunters. Briefly gonna check up on the video I just
Safe area
posted,
entered.
seeing that it looks all okay and if it actually did get processed in time as well. Because yeah, that's also always a thing. Sometimes it may take several hours before a video, even a short one, a 40-minute one like that one. Yeah, which the short is very much in quotations. Even that one sometimes takes forever. Gonna see if anything I got was worth it, but I was keeping an eye on chevrons and we didn't get. I don't think we got the item we are after. Oh yeah, we didn't. One thing I'm considering now as well as I do need to do Summit a little bit, or I want to do Summit, especially because I am quite interested in exotic caches, as I still want to get several more St. Elmo's eventually. And I didn't get one this week's caches, as I did do that today, brought both accounts together and shared all their caches together, trying to get 4 more chances for getting a St. Elmo for my main account. So what I'll do actually is I will swap, I'll do 1 more countdown and then I'll matchmake for some Summit or go some Descent. I haven't decided yet. This one today is very much whatever I feel like. We're not farming anything specific. I don't have any
You have received an invite to another agent's group.
build updates or something that I'm gonna do to the build connection.
Come on, Grupo gods.
And yeah, and then I did work on that guide a little bit, cleaned it up as well. And it is online now as well, together with that video. Actually, briefly gonna check if the link was correct, because I did change it at the last moment.
Mission relay offline.
Yeah.
Hyenas have taken over the power plant and triggered the lockdown procedures. Be careful, Agent. Last thing we need is an RC bomb.
Okay, we have the timer isn't active bug. But
We need to remove the virus from the
what
control.
seems to be happening nowadays is that it is working. It will fix itself, usually. One ally is going over there. I do not know why. We should all be here.
System malfunctioning. Reactor
He
unstable.
did that early.
Emergency lockdown protocols.
I'm gonna check what their
15 minutes. Lockdown.
my
Safety protocols activated.
we're gonna get the close range buff in a second as well, so that's gonna be nice. That player, sadly for him, was placed himself to not get any loot and is trying to solo a hunter and cost everybody else some loot. So
I got the same one.
he's just hanging out here.
System curtailed.
Oh, that's actually the same player we had in the last countdown from at least going off their skills. I don't remember the name, but
Oh, is
yeah,
that
that
Mr.
would,
Ikea?
that had
The master of the,
somebody recognizing me with. I feel
if that's really you, man, I just want to say thanks.
weird when people thank me. I don't know how to act to that always.
Good info.
I'm trying to catch who's saying that, but yeah, they are very welcome. Might also type it once we reach extraction. My push to talk is still inactive.
Protection from elite setups.
So trying to catch who.
So Bill, if that's IKEA there, this fellow here, is quite knowledgeable YouTuber and Division 2 player.
They're
Get a lot of technical info from
Target
him.
should be nearby.
he's doing my commercial work for me, which I
Agent has
appreciate.
gone offline.
So yeah.
You guys should all sub him because there's stuff in there that not everybody knows.
Uh,
Like the finer details.
I'll appreciate the shilling there.
Not everybody go follow him.
Yeah, just gonna go to the
For
scanner.
a second.
So that's the 2 chest positions. We don't have those yet. They're gonna provide their own CC for us. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the chests as well. Mostly for the SHD calibrations.
Nope.
We likely have a named over here, as those are the ones that usually solo spawn, but it isn't actually.
Hostile
Our
detected.
objective is just to kill the enemies, just hostiles.
There's a room full of them.
They spawned upstairs, which I was hoping they would be downstairs. So what I'll chase is actually that named then. He has several on them as well. But I'll go help there.
Target
Fentanyl cloud
neutralized.
everywhere.
Incoming.
This door should open in a second, and
Area secure.
so the other name died over there. So I'm gonna go get his loot as well. Either is okay. I think I'll follow the group. They want to go towards either I will basically just stick with the group.
I hear it. But I don't see it. Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, another one. No good.
Lab is also actually fine. I'm gonna just see what people do. I'm going cooling tower.
Wow. Wow, Fenrir's chest. Nope.
And we have a very talkative friend.
And the search continues.
So this one is actually going to take a little bit.
Detected.
Cooling tower is always a very large area. So especially stuff like this where we have to hold areas, just getting to them takes longer than if this was in containment.
Where are these guys going? Okay.
10 minutes to log down.
see.
Evacuate the facility.
To override safety
One player's going over there, I'll let them, and then I'll go over here. So these skills are especially the dangerous things to me. I am PFE, of course, so
Rogue assault turret detected.
these elites don't barely do anything to me, but these turrets and drones and sniper turrets,
Detected.
they're not elite and they hurt.
Drone detected. Rogue incinerator turret.
That's way outside of my optimal, but I can still
Incinerator
reach out and
turret
touch them.
detected.
At least pull them away a little.
Turret detected.
I am yellow. Protection from
Hostile
leaks.
sniper turret detected.
And mostly I want to push everything out of the zone.
Approaching.
Those places are basically tug of war, so if more than 2 enemies enter, or if more than 1, so 2 or more enemies get in there while I'm the solo player in there, then they will start to take it over.
Area secure.
Agent, head to the administration building.
Yeah, just gonna... We have access to the main, so... And on this run we have the close range buff, and that's really helping as well, making it exceptionally easy. I, of course, didn't check for the chest. Luckily, I saw it pop up on the minimap there. That's what convinced me to turn around there.
Agent has reconnected.
One thing I've been noticing as well since yesterday's patch is more people seem to be disconnecting during countdown. So, and some people have been reporting more crashes. So I hope it's nothing too serious, but there seems to be a little instability that has come back a little bit.
Notable player I played in countdown with today.
I'm gonna be curious who the other one was, but yeah, it's always funny to sometimes run into
The other guy was
people.
Rise.
Agent, you've reached the
got Rise
administration
and IQ
building.
in one
I
day.
need you to fix the comms.
So yeah,
pretty
that's,
cool.
because yeah, most players still also always matchmaking and such. I'm very much with matchmaking, so I get in there quite often and sometimes get spotted.
I know it's your favorite job. I need you to search the control room and find the server.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, they're going for it, which is nice.
Initiating safety protocols.
I'm gonna assume they're gonna stick in it, seeing as they beelined it to it. And I'm gonna set myself up to be in position to first get the chest, which isn't there. And is down here. And I'm basically gonna look if where nobody is, I'm gonna go over there. And I'm not even gonna be that concerned with killing here. Anything that comes my way, I'll kill, but I won't go out of my way. So a few people are upstairs there, so I'm gonna assume someone will get that one. Or if somebody comes into my circles and...
Initiating safety protocols.
Oh, yeah, a player seems to be going there.
Target detected.
But yeah, I'm not gonna leave the circle, I'm just gonna stick around here.
Wow, a holster. Yuck.
And hey to you, Jess and Snakes. Thank you for joining me again. And yeah, that he gave me a lot of praise. Sure.
Whoever said tech support was boring.
I'm very much one of those people that, yeah, I'm still not comfortable taking compliments ever, so it just, but I appreciate their,
One chest.
that they find my stuff helpful, and that, that they want to thank me.
Evacuate the facility. 5 minutes to lockdown.
Yeah, I did just post the video. I just finished it right before I started the stream today on ExoticTL, the one guide I was working on. I finished it off, got the final information. Got information as well that that 18.2 doesn't seem to have fixed anything to alter it. To alter any of the information there.
Agent, you saved the plant. Move to extraction point.
Yeah, it's went up
When you're ready to
right
come
now.
home, shoot off a flare.
Here we have it named, but nothing, not the stats I'm looking for.
Nope.
Extraction is pretty close, so that's nice. And yeah, here I'm farming for especially a closer that I can recore, so I needed to have crit chance, crit damage on it already for a recore towards
System malfunctioning.
towards a red core,
Agent, stay frosty.
which is one of the pieces I've been farming way too long. It's one of my annoyingly white whales almost. And named items, especially when you need to record them, end up like that. And especially when there's two named items to a brand,
System
that actually doesn't help. That makes stuff actually a lot harder.
System curtailed.
Nice of this medic to come right up to us. Because yeah, especially this build, this PFE, I've already actually changed it to go from the way that I usually had it, with it being a pistol build that I almost never ran it as, and then every time just put in the parts to make it a AR one. I've changed that now to be the ER, saved as the AR one. But I feel that a closer could actually help make this a little bit more useful.
Uh-oh. Another one.
I took so much damage there that I was a little bit confused what hit me there, but likely a hunter with a sniper rifle. Because those hurt. So I'm gonna play the ooh, if I can. Yeah, somebody got him luckily. One of the things as well that more people should do, and including me, is actually use their specialization weapons against hunters. Hunters are not named, they are actually just elites. So they take full damage from specialization weapons. So when they're like packed together, like that, a grenade launcher, yeah, like it's a wave clear, basically. It's not a bad idea. Neither is the TAC 50.
Yeah, last time, guys. Follow Mr. IKEA right there. By that spelling, IKIA. Follow his channel, man. He's got a lot of cool stuff.
I got a free advertisement.
Torres inbound on your location. Hold tight.
GG's.
She'll get you home.
Alright, I'll just leave it. I don't know how I want to word that, so I just won't. Yeah, that's gonna take too long to type as well. So there's another player that is actually talking about that, likely the specific issue that I made that video for today, which they're farming for Catharsis, but they likely haven't gotten it in that season.
Thanks again for all your videos, bro. Appreciate your work. Later.
I'll just give them GG. And yeah, Catharsis does not drop unless you have it in your... If you've gotten it before already, you need the blueprint, which should not be the case. It's not how it used to work.
Safe area detected.
Swear an oath that means something. Looking for something?
I'm just briefly gonna check on the YouTube end that everything went okay with the release of that video. I'm just gonna check as it has a comment already. Okay, just somebody very much enjoying the video apparently. Because yeah, later after the stream, I actually need to check if the timestamps I've put on it are correct, because I did those right before starting the stream, and those might be completely incorrect. Wouldn't be the first time, but they are quite easily editable. So unluckily, the piece I'm going for, being a unicorn, it's still not dropped. But I do get 2 exotic caches and chances at St. Elmo's. But even failing that, just exotic components. So I have enough as well to take another something to grade 20. I haven't decided what yet exactly, likely a Nemesis or a Pestilence. Just for variety's sake, I'm gonna grab a different build and do... Actually, no, I will. I'll swap over to going to Summit as yeah. There's an exotic component or exotic cache available there as well. Of course, just gonna matchmake into a group. I am gonna grab a tech tank. I'm considering changing it to the tech tank variants, and now I actually do want to have spotter because. So the St. Elmo's variant that I was messing around with a few days ago, where I put in a Picaros, changed out to chest, put in a contractors as well. Just gonna matchmake for heroic summits, and hopefully get a group. And there are still always some people farming up over there, so usually you do get a group, especially. Now it's basically prime time in my region. It's in the evening.
Skyscraper. This may take a while.
They're on floor 4, 2 directives. And I'll just tag along with them. I'll inspect to see what we have. We have a hotshot player and a striker SMG with Elmo. Okay. See if they are actually active. The one seems inactive, but it's other friend engaged, so until I'm charged up, I'm gonna play it a little bit slower. Even though, as well, we're on low floors. One of the annoying things is that actually the directive choice. So Fog of War without Ragers is actually more annoying than Fog of War with Ragers, to me at least. Ragers just shows where every player is, and just more damage isn't really an issue. And special ammo is actually one of the ones that I usually, even going for 6 directives, I usually don't pick. Because yeah, disorient is really annoying. And especially fighting Black Tusk, they disrupt with their shots. The bleed and the fire isn't an issue because those we can... as long as they hit the shield, as long as bleed rounds or fire rounds hit the shield, they don't actually go through. But disorient and disrupt don't. So I'm expecting at several points to be frustrated by that. Because yeah, usually if we're any floor we're fighting Black Tusk, I'm gonna slow down a lot, knowing that my shield is basically likely going to get taken away from me by the disrupt rounds. And hi to you as well, fun time. Gonna keep an eye out for the key as well, if I do get a chance to get that.
Shade tech.
Gonna see what the friend that joined us, striker with a group of chest, and the St. Elmo.
Hostile assault turret detected.
Did they at no point join us? No. I'm gonna accept that. So they were inactive for quite a while. What I'm gonna do here is move in.
No longer in your group.
Hopefully our new group leader disorient rounds as well, so I can't actually go over this.
Hostile striker drone detected.
While you're disoriented, you can't vault, which
Medical assistance.
is very annoying. And I want to move towards the objective, really. Gonna put another grenade on it.
Detected. Hostile incinerator turret.
And I'm hoping that the person that now got the leadership, the group lead, does know how to restart the matchmaker, so we have 4 players. As especially if you're farming for gear, having more chances of it per room because of the scaling numbers going up isn't a bad idea. One thing I should check in a second as well is what my challenges are set to. And there the disorient goes again. Gotta check that no loot is back here. I want to go out of my way for some of the memento drops back there because yeah, that's that's too much work. Gonna check for key here because it can be in that room. But likely also in these lower floors, it's towards the end. Here there's always an armor crate. The player that had this session wiped at some point, likely, and got reset to the start. Apparently. Because yeah, that chest was opened. Which means that they have attempted this floor section. Gonna kill the objective.
Hope you're ready for me.
Agent down.
I'm gonna push up on this back area here. Yeah, we're just doing some killing, doing some farming, not getting many drops, sadly. I'm gonna guess that that player doesn't know how to restart the matchmaker, but he doesn't. Oh, actually, he did. He figured it out. That's nice. Oh yeah, and I should indeed check my challenges and see what I left. Because I don't think I was far in on a run last time that I did it. And yeah, I'm on steady step. Okay, yeah, at the start of the challenges, basically. Oh, gonna go for a backpack on that heavy. Once the backpack of him is gone, he doesn't have that nail gun. It's mostly that nail gun that does a ton of damage and also bleeds. Yeah, here we have bleed rounds as well, and I might actually go down if even one more hits me. Gonna heal up first, then go for the objective. Because especially bleed does usually stay just a little bit longer than the health gate stays active. So if one of the last shot that puts you at health gate takes you does bleed you, then that's just going to carry over your health gate and just take you down. We have a loot back there. Likely getting a fourth player with us as well.
Is now in your group. EMP jammer detected nearby.
And yeah, with this as well, we're very much going to go for objective first. Usually when we start firing, what's going to happen first is that they're going to scatter anyway, so... Unless there are many elites, because elites do start firing like pretty quickly once you aggro them. But in these lower floors, it's mostly reds and purples. And that means that they'll scatter first before they'll start firing. So you have a few seconds to take care of objectives. And I'm very much doing basically the harasser role. And this is why Tech tanks do still kind of work in groups. But they should then not be played as the mid-range bruisers. They should be played as harassers. Like, I'm mostly grabbing basically one of the spawns and just making sure that everything coming out of there is on me. Together with the balls and just showing where everybody where the enemies are and stuff. And proximity does really matter for aggro, but damage matters even more. So they can out-damage something and take it off of me, but they need to actually make a concerted effort to do that. And that's also why tech tanks kind of work, is they do have enough damage to keep enemies on them. Where something like a full blue build just doesn't, and that's why there's that stigma of blue cord builds being completely useless. That's not completely true. Especially something like Summit like this, where stuff spawns all around and there are objectives where I can run for them and something like a glass could not. Just gonna loot that, whatever it is. And for instance here as well, I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna sit up here and just pepper stuff. Because even there, my shield getting hammered by several people. Now that I'm charged up on the memento, it holds up for quite a while. It's weird to not see a player go for the key, especially when it's that obvious. But we got it, and only one person needs to get it. I always wait till we're 3 people, and actually his idea, well, if 2 of them are going up there, I'll take a different route. I usually go up there as well, but more importantly than that is to have basically people all around them. So now they're up there, they can patch everything that spawns up there, and I'll do my best to kill anything that escapes. There we go. I'm surprised that we're only on 2 directives. I'm more used to 6 directives. But yeah, there's very few targeted drops. But yeah, it's also, of course, chance. Sometimes you get more, sometimes you get less. And yeah, directives directly affect how many you get. I'm actually gonna go status strife. We have decent amounts of damage on our allies, meaning that I'm okay giving up the tech tank, and I'm gonna go Eclipse for getting the status effect challenges done. Now, this character has a glass eclipse as their eclipse build, but I have the pieces to swap that over to be normal eclipse, because yeah, glass eclipse isn't what I want to have here. Waiting for somebody to make sure that they got their loot. Just gonna check if I actually have Crate Crazy still available. I think I've completed it. Okay, because that's otherwise. And yeah, getting the challenges is also a good habit to get into, because they actually provide a lot of experience. And that's usually the case is to...
Rogue
Oh,
agent
yeah,
detected.
rogues. So back to PFE I go. The secondary gets swapped to Scorpio. So it's saved with that LMG, and that's basically, I know I already always have
Loading
a
my
Scorpio
back.
in that, and or in my inventory, so I can always swap it in. And sometimes I want to have that this good times for other builds. So it's basically a mule to to tie it to. I'm just checking that everybody's ready. They look it.
Stay here. Yeah, fall back.
Gonna trigger them.
I bring. No, fall back.
I'm going to mute this ally because his tactical devices. Also, I'm curious to see what he is.
Blinder Firefly detected.
So yeah, this is useless basically in comparison to a PFE.
Detected.
So I don't know why he seems so so intent on leading when he shouldn't yet. What I really want to do here is single one out, and basically I'm not going to kill them outright, so I need to get my allies to kill them. So someone like this, when he's up there, I can make sure that they are focused on me, and my allies can put some damage on them. That's really my role here. And once we have a few down, and being on fire is very annoying because you don't get to... So one is down already. This one is so low that I can kill them even. But yeah, I just pushed them out. I don't see where one over there is, but that's okay. I'm disrupted, so I've lost my shield, but in this case, I'm gonna leave that target behind and go after him. And I'm gonna go back to this one, and then go back to this one, and yeah, work them like that. I feel I have lost one somewhere, or sight of one somewhere. Oh, one made it all the way back there. Okay, so this is the last one, and we can just push into them. I'm gonna go on the other side of them so that my allies can easily shoot them. I don't want to be in their way. And that was, yeah,
Rogue agent eliminated.
not an issue. And that's the PFE, especially when you have decent damage on your allies. But yesterday I struggled with one of the rogue fights with allies that were, well, less well equipped. And that's the difference there, really. No keepers, nothing I really want to share. And yeah, going back to my intent to be an Eclipse together with that piece. And yeah, so for these builds that aren't saved as their build pictures the way they are, so it's saved with that electric chest. So for these, I am keeping these golem pieces just as a, you know, nod to the old times. Chest on there. So in summits, usually I actually don't stick to a hive. The reason I'm keeping it here is if I actually track this on screen, I'm doing the State of Strife one, which
Situation.
requires me to certain factions do certain things. So in this case, it's fire to outcasts because we have outcasts here. So I'm gonna get that basically quite quickly because. But the hive is decent for sometimes, but not always. And the reason of it is you can lay it at ambush if you have a door that you can take down quite easily. But quite often, especially in the summit, they spawn out of several doors. And that means that other skills also become useful. Jammer Pulse, Banshee Pulse, Blinder. All of those are actually quite useful. Sadly, we got done with that floor. So hopefully this next floor is also with outcasts. So I can finish that one. There's a chest down here, which is only resources. But yeah, upstairs is actually... This is that area where we have several chests in a row. But yeah, the one thing I have to be aware of is, yeah, I don't even have a shield to hide behind against bleed rounds, against fire rounds. And that's really why I didn't want to do the glass variant. We're fighting Black Tusk.
Has left your group.
I'm gonna grab shock drops, which is the thing to... I'm gonna restart Matchmaker as well. And try to get some shocks on these guys. Although, I completely failed there, of course. This room feel... So this is actually a Warhound fight room. So normally these guys should be fighting each other. The sniper dogs should be fighting the minigun dogs. Minigun dogs.
Malfunctioning.
But they weren't. So they broke that, likely in this patch, because I would have noticed, I feel, in the last patch. But that also means that it doesn't have to mean that we're fighting Black Tusk for this floor. And we have an easy key as well again. We do get a chest back there, actually. Yeah, actually what I'll do is I'll already grab a Blinder Firefly, which is one of my main choices for in here, because you can easily target a few stuff and just blind them and help your team that way. And then the fire is my primary damage. I will always keep my fire cam. I'm gonna see if I can get a fire going, even staying outside of the killer jammer area. An enemy that's suppressed is an easy target, so I went for them there. Yeah, with these killer jammers, it's with line of sight, so as long as you aren't in its line of sight, you can easily... Not in its circle. This one is always very annoying. I believe this place is safe, I think. It was not, it turns out. I will go down here. I'll try to get a disorient on them.
System restored.
And hopefully they get spread, but I'm gonna crawl back here and my allies should be able to get me.
Agent down.
So yeah, that one is in a place where there was actually back there is actually an area. So you have to be covered from it in the way that the game like thinks of cover, which isn't exactly the same. So where I could have gone actually was over here. If this was in the circle, but I'm not sure it was actually. Or I might actually. In my attempt at trying to show it there, I overextended a little bit and they spawned behind me. But they can get me easily. With the objective gone, that means that it's just one more wave left. Actually, I'll take this time to go into social and inspect. And they are set up in a little bit too few. And yeah, once they get the objective complete, I will also get reset as well. We already have the key for this floor section, so I don't need to actually
Situation.
pay attention to it. He got very much hugged, likely. That also means that these are podcast, so that will likely complete that. Gonna grab the next challenge already, which is this one, crowd controller. Yeah, they're on fire, they're blinded.
Another agent has joined your battle.
And eclipses can be really handy in here as well. But you need to be a bit more of an advanced player, someone that can reactively get things to...
Detected.
So we're going to Rogue Striker drone room, and
Detected.
yeah, a disrupt will take care of them quite easily. So yeah, in this corridor there isn't any loot or anything. This player is very much... I don't want to go in with him, just the two of us, so I'm just going to wait for my allies. I'll jam from here, kill this initial wave, but I'm not interested in dying just because he wants to. One of the things I can do here is, especially if I can catch them close to their doors, which I can do now, it will spread to them and get them all. Whenever we interact with one of these laptops, an extra wave spawns. But I'll have one again in 4 seconds. Disrupt. Gonna wait for that.
Terminal infiltrated.
Once all the terminals are completed, all of the drones self-destruct anyway. So yeah, even without an eclipse, if most of the players swap to disrupts, they can actually quite easily deal with rooms like that. And we've made it all the way to the elevator already. Yeah, another named chevron, so I already know it won't have the piece I'm looking for, but sometimes you still get something useful. Curious to see what this player is running. Determined build. That player's coming, so I'll just get in the elevator. Yeah, especially in Summit, I just swap that other skill around whenever, So here, I'm gonna see what boss room it is, and that decides. So we have this one. They spawn basically all from one door. And that means that the hive is actually a viable choice here. Because I'll set this initial wave on fire. Then get one that is easily spreadable for my allies. That sniper turret that went down kinda... Because yeah, if I can get here and can catch these guys, I can make this room quite easy. And hive goes underneath them as well. I'm gonna move around and see if I can get... The boss wasn't where I thought he was actually. He's way further back. I'm gonna finish off this and go behind this pillar and try to help on the boss. So he's on fire. Next wave will spawn in a second. Yeah, this used to be the old tactic for floor 10 farming back when that was a very viable XP strategy. Although you would do it with an Eclipse and 3 or several Oxy players, as many as you could muster, usually. So closer, but not the stats I'm looking for. So yeah, with those boss rooms, they all have their own places where their spawns happen. Many of them have just one. Oh. So once you know that, it becomes, yeah, it's just one of those things that you have to learn over time. Some resources in here as well. I think I used the med pack, so I'll grab that. I'm gonna actually
An agent is no longer.
change these because I'm just gonna take what I like having, and that's these four at the very least. And yeah, we're a few are leaving us, but hopefully we'll fill up with other players. Hey, Zoe. Yeah, all directives legendary can be quite a lot of fun, but you have to be in a mood for it. And you also, your intention should be that you're doing that. Doing that and not just going for the 30 floors, which is what I'm mostly at. And yeah, it is.
Shade tech.
That's always the thing with it, of course, is there's that nice big dopamine hit that is tied to getting the piece that you're after. That's like what all of these games are very much built around, of course.
Turret detected.
I'm gonna... So I don't have the disruption grenades anymore, of course, because I'm not that eclipse. But what I can do actually is my hive will also kill all of those skills,
Detected.
as long as they land in its range. That's a sniper trying to pretty much annoy me. But the fire should spread to everything. I'm gonna heal up just to not die. I'm gonna put a flame grenade there. And they have here just basically 3... They can spawn from that door, which someone did. And then there's a door in that room where they are spawning as well. Actually, if my ally is up here in here as well, I'm gonna put my hive in there. That's gonna catch that door. No, help this guy along. I was unsure where that sniper was, but my ally got him. And that's a completion there. So with no regen active, we're not regenning when we're out of combat. Just gonna make sure that that wasn't a closer, that was just a normal chest before I accidentally deleted. But the reason why I'm completely okay with no regen is when I just swap weapon, and my armor fills back up. It's an oversight on their part that you can do it that way. Because yeah, whenever we're out of combat, I can just swap weapon and get my armor back that way.
Another agent is now in your group.
You can also do it by re-equipping a weapon or re-equipping a piece of gear. So just swapping one piece of gear over to something else and then back. And that can be handy for times when you're like running chameleon and you do not want to give up your stacks. I'm going to push in a little bit deep and get my hive. Basically, there's a choke point around here. We're fighting these heavies. This is a heavy fight. And I'm just going to use my crossbow to break chests. Just hit geometry. This guy very much did not like me doing that to him. So he's very focused on me now. I have a feeling that both of my allies are snipers. Because yeah, that's a white death going off. Wait, oh, that's this player. Okay, and the other one's a striker. Okay. Yeah, make sure to check corners for the key. And move forward. Yeah, I'm done with that one as well. What I'll do actually is this one as well. That can be done by Eclipse as well. Or most of it at least. Gonna try and get a fire going. Gonna push in. I wanna get my hive over there. And that's just so that's one of the spawns is behind there. Just gonna make sure that I'm just outside of that zone before I ignite it. There my hive goes. And that's also a good thing because then I know when it's going off, I know I can actually, like, there is stuff for me to kill there. But yeah, it's this door and this door behind us. Once this guy starts to deploy his drone, he's a very easy kill. Second one there I see already coming out. And there, those red lines from the cam are actually really helpful, of course. I just see that there are enemies inside of it. And that's those red lines when you're hovering, or that the zone goes red. Although it also goes red when it's allies inside of it, so, or yourself. So, and a direct impact there, but they already killed it. And they were done. Yeah, that door is a trap, and this door isn't. Don't want to rush up too far ahead of my ally. Get an easy key. Oh, drone ambush. So yeah, I'm just going to take the time. Although also ambushes usually are quite easy. So I'm just going to wait till I have my skill and then... Although one thing you usually can do is actually save it for when the second wave spawns. And the reason for that is if you catch them in the doorways, then it very much transfers between several waves. But in the ambushes, it's only usually a few waves. It's usually those rooms with the laptops that have issues like that. There is a room back here as well.
Another agent has joined your group.
And we're back to 4 people. And up here is another room as well. Yeah, this section of Summit are very much in the time that I'm trying to aim up there. Yeah. Take it. But yeah, these sections are all basically always the same. So after a while, you know where everything is. It's not as randomized as some people sometimes think it is. Gonna put a few shots on him, a few shots on him. So the thing I'm looking for is a good target. I didn't have one at most of the time there for setting on fire. But yeah, most of the things I went for were already dead by the time actually that my flames were actually on target. I tried to save that ally by getting a fire going in their neighborhood, but turned out to not work. Or well, they still went down. So actually I'm looking at Effects Expert, the challenge that I'm going to complete. Yeah, I need to get a few, hoping that I get these people without getting jammed, and I did.
Systems back online.
Yeah, we got a extra loot dog.
Terminal destroyed. System reactivated.
And my team seems to have decent damage. These heroic enemies are going pretty fast. Gonna grab these shock rounds as well. So these those war hounds, those loot hounds are quite handy. You just need to not let them escape. The second combat starts, they'll try to run away. And one of the nice things about them is whenever they die, they drop special ammo types. And yeah, I mean, bleed rounds, flame rounds, or shock rounds are really useful as an Eclipse. We're gonna inspect that ally as well. Curious to see what this blue is. It's armor regen. But for the rest of it, they have a decent enough build together. Which kind of shows we have a decent striker, we have a decent red build. And the sniper is also not... I mean, he's running determined, so he's also helping. And I hope my mic isn't picking up the creaking chair that sometimes is in the background. Time for a new one, but I've been lazy. But it is a comfortable chair, but it creaks when I move around a little bit sometimes. Can I actually disrupt here? Because I have 3 enemies. So I've done the disrupt part of the challenge of that. I'm gonna grab a blinder for the next part, so I need to 3 hostile blinded 2 times in a row. And blinder is also just nice here. Works quite well. It's gonna get a fire going first. Oh, that's direct impact into an ally. I luckily got out of it in time.
Medical assistance needed.
Oh, that's what's killing us. Yeah, sometimes fog of war kind of causes that kind of stuff where it's hard to see where enemies are sometimes. I'm gonna go help over there. Gonna get a fire going, try to at least, over there. Gonna shock this one. And I'm just gonna provide overwatch for my ally over there. I'll try to get a blind going. Oh, this ally went down himself.
An agent has disconnected.
Okay, that ally was indeed looking a little bit weird there. Like they were running slow, so I was expecting him to go offline there, and he did. Yeah, so here especially kind of Ragers is showing us where the enemies are as well. Like that's the reason why I actually prefer to have Ragers and Fog of War together instead of either of them apart. We have an objective here of this. I don't actually know if these burn. They do, so I'm gonna see where the other one is because the game isn't showing it correctly. Somebody got it. And the fire spread to kill everything anyway. Yeah, so these are the places where something like a hive struggles a bit more. They're coming out of way too many doors. And I can't get it to... So here we have this locked door, which is quite the bait, because yeah, there's nothing inside of it. The key can't also be in there. At least it's hard to prove a negative, but I strongly believe that it can't be. Here we have these warhounds, and we have to kill those. I'm gonna get a fire going, and I'm gonna just beeline it for these objectives. I'm not sure if I actually can easily kill these. I can. can't really, turns out. And I might actually have, yeah, I am overextended. But if we get those down, so I'm gonna set myself here, which is kind of like the safest place, and hopefully comes gets me. And more, yeah, yes, exactly. You got it. Because yeah, once the dogs are gone, it's actually a lot easier. That's why I beelined it as well for that. And try and get a fire going, but they're killing actually so fast that it's actually hard to get a fire going. That's one of the reasons why some people go for foam more, because yeah, foam is actually easier to use. It's easier to get on target, but I also think that I'd rather set them on fire and actually damage them quite strongly instead of trying to go for foam. And yeah, I still believe... So actually I haven't tested since this or yesterday's patch. If determined is actually... we have drones. If it has been changed in any way. My understanding is that it isn't changed. Because otherwise also I feel that people would have been bitching quite strongly about it. Which I don't believe I've seen. You can see if I can get a shock going off, because yeah, the shock will also spread and kill them all. Just gonna heal up. I was waiting for that one to come out of the doorway, because yeah, if there's another wave, he's in range to spread to them. But they spawned another. And there the Scorpio showed its range issues, where even at mid-range I couldn't even get a single pellet to land on it. Yeah, maybe after the summit I'll have a... Although it's, I mean, it's quite easy to test as well for... So, but I'll just confirm it for myself as well. Curious to know. And I keep using this disrupt since I have it. Once the disorient is on him, I can set him on fire. Go over here and use my disrupt. And disrupt is mostly just to show my enemy, show my allies where the enemies are, because yeah, they'll put them, it'll make them visible. But Ragers also does that. Gonna try to get, and we got also the disorient to spread there with it. And I'm just using the Scorpio for that.
An agent is no longer in your group. An agent is back online.
And I should actually pick new challenges, so that enemy putting down...
Another agent is now in your
Trying to get a line up to it. That worked. And that likely will spread to kill everything over there. Yeah, my ally had him. Yeah, gonna pick new challenges. We have 4 directives active, so I can pick that. And I will likely also just... I'll do that at the next elevator. Swap back to a tech tank, and because I'm done basically with the status effect ones, which I usually do this, swap to an Eclipse for a few floors, and get those done. Curious to see what our ally is with us. I saw the key actually out of the corner of my eye as well. And yeah, they're still working on getting something together, but actually it's not as bad as it could be. For these coming rooms, they're a lot compact, so I'm okay going back to my hive. Especially here, because yeah, I can set that wave on fire. Once it's spread, I'm actually going to push in, and they all spawn from this door, so once I hive that door, Gonna see if I can get that disorient going and fire and hive. And also one thing I can do here is be safe over here. And once the fire runs its course, I'll send one by a bounce. That's always a good tactic to have in your pocket as well with eclipses, is to bounce the fire cam. Somebody was in a hurry to get in that room. Or well, they opened the door. But yeah, that aggroed everything already. Gonna use him to spread. Gonna do the same to that guy. My hive's gonna go up here. It's one of the main spawning places of this room. Because it's mostly up here and then across from us down there. I'm gonna see if I can get that purple.
Incoming. High risk hostile.
Yeah, I hear my hive going off. She's dead already. I'm trying to keep an eye on my ally, see if he... If something basically goes for him, I'm trying to basically keep him covered if I can. I'm gonna wait for that name to actually come upstairs, and this is, yeah, waiting for him to be somewhere where my allies can shoot him. Gonna put one on him as well, although I missed actually, so... And there we go. Only one enemy downstairs. Someone grabbed the pulse as well, so they have my thanks. Oh, we have one more, it turns out. A wave. And one more even. Or there's something still. Well, my allies have it. I'm not gonna waste the cam on there. And we made it to another 3-floor section. I'll run something that I haven't ran in here for a while. And is actually quite useful, which is a combat medic. This used to be our way of doing a lot of the content, was with 3 good reds and a combat medic. And that's way before Eclipse was in the game. And then yeah, Eclipse kind of usurped it. And nowadays it's not the best choice, it's more one of those choices that can work. And I enjoy playing it mostly for just of its challenge. So I'll try to keep my damage up and still try to heal my allies as much as I can.
Field terminals detected nearby.
As damage-wise, this build still does quite well. Although this isn't the glass one, so this doesn't do as much as that one. But still, if I play it right, he is in my hive, but for some reason the hive... So the hive needs to have line of sight, and what it considers line of sight isn't always as clear as it should be. But yeah, what this build doesn't do is it doesn't heal as well as a full FI or anything, of course. Doesn't. So I'm gonna stay in my hive range. My hive is Faraday, of course, with being technician. So I can kind of use that to... But I've put it actually not in the best place, so... If it was in my range when I'm in this cover, that would help.
System restored.
But yeah, it should be
System malfunctioning.
clear that we're moving a lot slower. But, I mean, is the case always.
Activated.
Where with the Eclipse, I was boosting our team to go a lot faster than we are now. But sometimes I also pick builds that I enjoy running, which this one very much is.
Terminal accessed. System disrupted.
Yeah, we should kill the jammer.
System reactivated.
I got a named piece there, but it's actually not from targeted, so it's not going to be what I'm after. And it is a relic. Yeah, that's apparently not a hole. Even though it seemed like one. So we've used up all my hive. Put out a fresh one. We still have secured the area active, so something's alive back here. And one thing I should do is have the ability to give my team superchargers. So by deconstructing my my hive, and I should do that more often than I am currently.
An agent has gone offline.
Sadly, we lost one of our allies.
Shade tech detected.
I'm gonna put my hive in there. Gonna try to go for the heavy, but he's obscured to me.
Rogue striker drone detected.
I do have technician again as well, actually, so I should do this. The game did not want to toss that grenade.
Hostile assault turret.
Ah, yeah. Gonna heal my ally.
Your group.
I'm not a Fi, but so it's not that important for me to just fill them back up. Because yeah, I'm not providing any buffs really. I'm only healing and I'm dealing my own damage.
Incinerator turret detected.
Where with FI I would be a lot more conscious to keep people topped off. But here I'm more interested in just keeping them in the fight.
Another agent has joined your group.
I feel we got like 7 agents in a row there. Joining and leaving. But I think it was actually just one. Yeah, I'm in my own hive and I'm getting pelted from behind a little bit, but I know also my healing can keep me up. Go across to here. He was obscured to me. Oh, that's enough. Yeah, he was just outside of the hive. I'm gonna get him up. Let my ally do the shooting. Once he's up as well, I'll heal him and yeah. And actually what I'll do here as well is supercharge. Oh, it's a little bit wasted. So one of the things as well with the supercharge is, so none of my allies has a revive hive, but actually it's really useful for those. Because I can reset revive hives right after they've gone down. That's actually one of the main uses for it. So there it was a little bit wasted, but I'll have another one in 2 minutes. So it's also not, it's not a major loss. But I just need to be more conscious to actually just keep doing that more often. Yeah, especially, for instance, the pulse stand gives a group-wide... Well, once one of our allies has a pulse, and once that's overcharged, it applies a debuff.
Drone detected. Hostile striker drone detected.
And also here, for instance, actually I'm going to check if this player is in Eclipse. He is. So, and he has a Disrupt as well already ready, so he should. But also, for instance, in rooms like this, but a full FI could do it the same, is keep players alive. I'm gonna start working on that. Once there's always that little gap in between the disrupts. In it, I'm gonna put my hive down, use it to Faraday us. And I'm hoping my my FI friend will come in and kill all of these with one disrupt. But even if he doesn't, so these enemies are very much chip damage. It's a lot of tiny damage on you. And the hive and Psychic can keep me alive if need be. Surprised the Eclipse player still hasn't. There we go. It is, yeah. And if he had caught it a little bit earlier when they were in the doorways, then likely he would have killed every coming wave as well. So I'm out of line of sight of my hive, but also I still have that to heal myself up with. Gonna get the key. Yeah, I very much still enjoy combat medics. They are very much still one of my all-time favorite builds. They gel very well with how I'm used to playing most games. It's like a support where I still try to deal damage. And especially healers. But yeah, it is usurped by Eclipse in effectiveness, really. Gonna go for the objective, not have everything be overhealed by a ton. But yeah, there, for instance, it shows a little bit. A red build could really easily take care of that. But it would be basically one mag, but I'm gonna chain this heavy. Let's see where that ally is. So he has gotten to the point where he reached armor, he reached his health gate. So actually if he takes one big hit, my healing can't save him at that point. Gonna put out a fresh hive, put out fresh healing. I'm gonna actually supercharge here. And yeah, that's what I meant there. So he had already. I'm gonna get him up, letting my ally keep going there. See my other ally struggling there. Gonna heal him up. And yeah, I supercharged as well in that part, but didn't lead to anything really useful. Especially the Eclipse player could really benefit from it. But he was down for that. As I think he was down. Don't remember which player went down.
Guns up! Understood.
But yeah, it's also... Oh, that's a bit much. I'm just gonna do the side rolls. Everybody was in healing hive range. He isn't, but yeah, I'll get him like that. That's one of the downsides with Fog of War is it is actually harder to see where my allies are in relation to me. So it is harder to keep track of that kind of stuff. Yeah, there we have another something done. I'm going to start working on this directives Dappler. This is one of those places where opening this lock will always aggro that room, even if you do it with a silencer, or with a suppressor, actually, I should say. Oh, that bounced off a wall that I didn't want it to. Yeah, I did want it a little bit further. And there I use just double tap to just put it on the ground real quick. I'm gonna go for the backpack on that LMG. Get him. I will also CC everything around him a little bit. And yeah, 2 players are very content to sit in my hive, and 1 player is very much not. So I'm keeping an eye on him basically. Gonna put up my hive. That will likely also pull the 2 allies that I have over there up to be closer. And the only danger is that door where I'm aiming. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm aiming at it. Because yeah, it's that door and then several other doors in front of us. And we're done with that room. And yeah, it's very noticeable that we're just going slower. But also, none of the players that are with me are on super tip-top builds.
Server terminal detected.
But we are going definitely slower than when I was Eclipse, which is... But I do enjoy it. I'm gonna put my hive on them, put healing on him, and go help over here. Just try to get that weak point in. This door to our left is usually the only place that kind of gives some issues when big stuff spawns there. So I'm going to put myself here so I'm in position to deal with that. Keeping an eye on my allies as well. I'm going to actually supercharge here. Oh, we were already done. I was expecting 1 more wave, but we didn't get it. And 1 more chest. So actually we're heading into a boss room, and I should actually check if I've done the boss room challenges. There are several that are tied to boss rooms. And if I haven't, I should swap to those. And yeah, I haven't, because yeah, Distinguished Dethrone is 1. This one needs 6 directives. And usually I do all of on the right side ones. I usually do all of them except sidearm, the sidearm one. Although usually I do that one as well, but I usually do that on lower difficulty. I just drop it to hard or something and farm some purple pieces along the way as well at that point. So especially with this layout that we're going to get in the boss room in a second, they spawn, the boss can spawn out of any of the doors, but all of the waves basically spawn out of one. And yeah, Eclipses can be very strong there, but we now also have another player on Eclipse, and I don't want to like, rain on their parade. It's not handy to have 2 Eclipses, and they're pretty low level, so they likely don't have anything to swap to. I'll stay Combat Medic. It's not the most effective choice, but yeah, it'll work. He wants to use his minigun, it seems. Gonna push in. I'm gonna push into the halfway point. I really want my team to be mostly basically around this area, at least. Do not be too far back. One of the things that especially starting out people do a bit too much is fall back, or hang back, actually, I should say more. way too much. And after a while, it becomes obvious that actually, if you push into the enemies, you can make quite the difference. If you can catch them early, not let them set up, especially we're fighting cleaners here. If you let all of the mortars go down, you let all of the drones go up, they actually become annoying, but if you kill them very quickly, then they don't have all of those force multipliers activated. Okay, I'm gonna move my hive up so that my allies benefit from it. Unlikely actually, so we're on lower floors, we're not gonna get many waves, we're not gonna get another boss as well. He got a fire going, I'm gonna help him spread. And actually here I'll supercharge, giving him another one. Hopefully he will notice that he has another charge right away, because that resets all skills as well, so he has a fresh sticky to use if he chooses to. Yeah, it really depends on how tuned players are. It's a sound that veteran players know very well when when the sound happens of the supercharge of a player with the BTSU glove giving you an overcharge. But yeah, if you don't know it, yeah, then for instance, my direct reaction always to that is that if I have a pulse, I just instantly pulse, because getting that damage bonus with an overcharged pulse out. So one of the things I should do is actually have elite headshot kills is one of the things, and I'm not specifically going for it. I've gotten 5 of them, but I could have been likely done with it if I actually made the effort to aim for the head.
An agent has disconnected.
That likely isn't a crash, but just a player choosing to leave by doing quit game. And that leaves them in the group for quite a bit. Oh, we have
Agent detected.
rogues again. So the rogues are on a timer. They run out. I am not going to stay combat medic. Combat medic, actually, I mean, it can help carry through it, but I can just carry the entire fight with a PFE. Or even solo it if I have to. Yeah. Gonna go and trigger it. We only get 4, so a disconnected player doesn't count for being part of the group's scaling. So what I usually do is actually wait a few seconds, let them get a few of their skills out, because if I push in and they put a sniper turret right behind me, I'm not gonna have a good time. I'm gonna push back here. I'm gonna get this friend up. Especially if they have several. So here, Scorpio's gonna make easy work of this guy. I'm gonna go on his other side, just so I'm not blocking him with my shield. Hopefully I'm out of the fire there. I'm just gonna wait it out. Gonna med pack up. I have plenty of them anyway. One more's coming in. So the one thing I don't want to get hit by is that turret. That turret isn't elite and will hurt me. But whoever owned it is gone. I'm looking for that healing hive, but it likely was tied to one of the ones that died. So yeah, I'm just gonna. There's 2 left. I'm gonna push into them. Try to keep their attention on me. I can tank them for quite a while. And one of the things I'll do as well is close the distance. Try to force them to melee, as they will usually if you get close. And their melee is pretty weak. So if I can choose between getting shot or getting meleeed, I would rather try to get meleeed by them. And that was an easy clear run. But none of these are named dropped as well, so the search continues. I don't want to stay this, so I'm gonna swap. I'm gonna actually swap back to Eclipse for a little bit. I'm gonna check in a second how many floors I still have left. So we're 17 out of 30. Oh, actually, yeah, no. I now remember that. That's the reason I didn't go Eclipse, actually. I'll swap to this red just to get the cam gun and actually go Combat Medic again. I want to let that player enjoy being Eclipse. Not... Because, yeah, multiple Eclipses don't really do anything that worthwhile. Gonna start the kick on this player. If he had just crashed, he would have already come back.
An agent is no longer in your group.
Matchmaking should still be active. Trying to see where he's just on the edge of healing. Yeah, that shows inexperience with playing with a medic. Oh, we have this hive. So this annoying thing is it heals way too much, more than it should, I feel. So anything inside of it is actually close to impossible to kill. You can push them out. So yeah, that heavy being pushed out already. I want to kill him before he gets in it. Because yeah, heavy in there is actually very annoying to kill. And especially when this is an area where there's only one of them. So the thing that in most area will not make it as annoying is that there are several areas it can be, and it will move between them. So enemies will be caught outside of them after a while. I am trying to hit the weak point a little bit, but I'm also out of sight of my effective really. So. But also, he's firing at me, he's not firing at my allies, so... there's a medic back here, I feel. Because, yeah, suddenly we have way too many enemies back here. That weak point should have been hittable, but wasn't as modeled as it should have been. Gonna go help my allies as well. Gonna get the healing hive into a range here. And we got it done. Gonna assume they check that corner well enough. And to know what my ally is with us. Negotiator with short range negotiator, basically. With a Ridgeway chest. So there was a sound of somebody or of loot being picked up. Well, I wasn't picking up loot, so that means that somebody picked up the key, because that's the, that's the only conclusion you can make there. We have a heavy in the back there. Gonna attempt to hit his back, but also I'm a little bit vision impaired there. How he was facing. Gonna heal him up. Nothing spawned in the back here, they all spawned up there, so... Gonna move my hive up once more. Yeah, that's why I'm like fidgeting like that. Is I'm mostly looking towards where doors can open and backspawns can happen. Well, I seem pretty good enough to deal with whatever's in front of us, and the only danger is whatever spawns behind us. So I'm keeping an extra eye on that kind of stuff. And this likely will be the last enemy. Because usually once there's only one enemy left, except when it's with SHD crates, there you have to, all enemies need to die before the next wave spawn. But usually once there's only one enemy left, especially with these just secured area things, that means that that is the final wave. Because usually the next wave spawns when there's only one enemy left. Gonna put my hive decently deep again. I'm actually gonna put a grenade on that thing, disrupt it. Because that works on it as well. You can actually just disrupt them. Letting as little overheals go out. I hear my hive in the background, healing people. Lets me know that it's at least like in a place that kind of works, apparently. In a second here, actually, I'll use a supercharge. My ally apparently, I'm getting the feeling that he doesn't know that you have to press and hold for what he was trying to do there. As always, that's just things that you learn over time. We're not born with that knowledge, we just play way too long till we know most of the ins and outs. Gonna heal him back up. Might as well. Yeah, especially that supercharge can be really strong helping allies. So for instance, also if my ally has his drone out on himself, which he doesn't usually, he hasn't had it out really more than once, I feel. Then, so this one actually, yeah, so here's one again. I'm gonna even, well, somebody shot it unsilenced. Actually, it was silenced as well, it was suppressed as well. But yeah, even shooting it suppressed does not save you from aggroing the next room. There's a dog here, so I'm just gonna blind fire on this dog. So dogs, when you are in cover, these sniper dogs, you can, if you blind fire towards them, they basically never hit you because they're aiming at your center point. Your center point isn't exposed, and yeah, making it quite easy to actually close the distance and then just blind fire at them and just kill them that way. Gonna push to the right and work on these enemies. Oh. Curious to see what killed him actually.
System curtailed.
I'll let my ally. Oh, okay, so he got picked up by combat ending before I even reached him, so saved me the effort. So I got done with whatever I had selected. So I'm gonna start working towards the next one, but also actually likely I won't take any next ones. I'll have that one active and I'll try to get some signature kills, but I won't go out of my way for it either. And I don't have a Sweet Dreams on this character, so melee kills will also sometimes intermittently you'll weaken some enemy to an obvious point that you can
EMP
feel like.
jammer detected nearby.
So there's a killer jammer. I'm gonna put my hive over here. Set up here, work on some enemies. If I can make it into the circle, I'll try to do that. So there's one obvious place I can go, which is here. Oh, yeah, so this little corner is safe from it. And I just need to survive everything else. Which is sometimes more of an ask than... Oh, oh, that is...
Agent down.
That's not the way that I wanted to go, so... The annoying thing is with it... oh, the nearby explosion of the mini-tank killed me there. I tried to vault up, but... or vault over and run back, but it vaulted me up. Yeah, sometimes stuff like that happens. I wasn't paying that well attention. But I got the objective killed. At least, I think I got the objective killed. I still see it like spinning there, which... And with me being out of the circle, it might reactivate. I'm gonna have a look at my allies. I'm not in an easy place to get without the revive hive, and none of them have one. So likely I'll be down till they are done. Or they're making an effort to get to me, but they also should not overextend to do it.
EMP jammer destroyed.
Okay, the jammer finally got destroyed. That helps a little. That at least secures the main objective.
Fucking fight! Like,
And that was the last guy. Yeah, not clean, but we got there. So I'm on 20 floors out of 30, which is... I feel good enough for... I'll leave the last 10 floors for a different run. Because one of the things I always like is to vary it up. I'm gonna make sure that leadership goes to this player, although it could have as well.
Been promoted to group leader.
And I'm gonna give him a GGC around,
An agent has left your group.
and I'm gonna leave. I'm giving it to the highest level player, hoping that they know how to start keep matchmaking going.
This may take a while. Hope you cleared your schedule.
But yeah, especially giving it to a low level player, sometimes they don't know how to restart matchmaker. So I'm hoping for, yeah, a closer in here, but I'm pretty sure I kept a little bit of an eye on it. I don't think I got one from any of the challenges or anything, and I didn't. So yeah, we're gonna deconstruct all of this junk. I'm gonna pop all my caches real quick as well. And I might actually take a red FI into... Because tomorrow I'm going to work on a red FI build showcase. Start work on that, because that's the next one that will come out. And I'm hoping to actually get it, do the calculation sheets and stuff for it, get those ready tomorrow, and then do the recording of it Friday, and then maybe release it that Friday or the Saturday following it. And I want to get in the rhythm of being a bit more consistent with content on the channel, because I've been noticing that, yeah, whenever I'm a little bit consistent, or the times I've been consistent, the algorithm seems to enjoy that. The YouTube algorithm seems to enjoy that a little bit better than me having several weeks in between it. I'm gonna put this character back to to either New York or DC, wherever I came from. And I'm gonna swap over and start doing. I think I'm gonna take it in the countdown, because that's like the bread and butter for a red FI. And mostly I want to also mess around with the BTSU version of it a little bit, get a feel for it. Just so when I go into the build showcase and do the gameplay parts that I'm not super rusty. Because while I do enjoy Red FI, I don't run it as often as they are actually pretty common nowadays. So quite often when I do pick it, and we might have that here as well, there might be another FI already. And then usually what I do is on the same character that has the red FI, I have a red ongoing directive, and I'll swap to that. And this one is very much, so this is the four-man, the old variant of it, where I use it with Safeguard and a BTSU glove. So this usually looks like this. And this kind of works in four-man because you have that healing as long as you're maxed out, and I usually would just hang back a little bit. But with Countdown, that extra Safeguard isn't actually that useful. So usually what I do is I also on this character have a Vigilance backpack, and that goes on just for some extra damage. And usually the layout that most people prefer, and I kind of do for Countdown as well, is to have just Coyote and then the other four. So the glove would then be a future initiative, having 4 pieces of future initiative down there. Providing Coyote also just for yourself as well and such, and having either an opportunistic backpack with a shotgun or having a Vigilance backpack with AR. I prefer Vigilance with the ARs, keeping my own damage up a little bit. Because some people quite often go a little bit too much into the support end. It is a support build, but it still needs to provide its own damage for it to be worthwhile. If you're just costing the team more damage than you're providing them, then it's somewhat counterproductive.
You have received an invite to another agent's group. You are now in a group.
I'm just gonna inspect my list. So we have a red Patriot there, glass one actually, which is Regens type build. Mostly what I'm looking for is if anybody is FI already, either red or normal. Double companion. Not a double companion. I wonder if the leader hadn't started it for a while, or if they're actually like very it was just a comedy of errors. Oh, he's kicking people, which, I mean, really, dude? I mean, sure. For challenging, that's not, just don't be that guy. Don't be the guy that the entire play base like complains about. At least if he had a build that was, you know, like perfect looking, he can make a case or something, but he himself had pieces that weren't perfect, so.
Communication relay offline.
Black Tusk.
We have this thing again.
Lockdown protocols while they were charging
Most of all of both of the teams are here on this side.
We need to restrict access and secure the new.
My group UI thing is completely off the screen and bugged. One thing I do want actually is to have a Scorpio secondary, because yeah, I will actually Scorpio a little bit. There we go.
System disrupted.
So while that issue seems to not have been solved completely, what at least seems to be the case is that
Levels of radiation detected.
it is consistent that
Operational lockdown procedures.
it will trigger once a few seconds in.
System reactivated.
Where in the past we have had points where we've been in dedicated groups and stayed around for 8-9 minutes and not had it. Not gonna push in solo. I don't even want to be the tip of the spear, really. I don't have to be. I'm not PFE or anything. I'll leave that to others, but I'll help along. And we have good damage there. We don't have the close damage buff, and stuff died fast enough. He seemed very, very disoriented on what he wanted to do there. Climbing up and down and up and down. So we have turbine right here. And yeah, that so turbine cooling tower is the order, and then we have containment as the main objective. I'll briefly reload the chat there because I see there's a message, but I couldn't read it there. Yeah, that's even worse when they just kick on SHD level, because that doesn't mean anything. There's plenty of 20k players that have way worse thing builds than a level 100 player that actually takes the time to understand the game and go for builds and either figures it out himself or tries to or just follows other people's advice. I feel that, wait, I checked that and I checked this one, so I didn't go to the balcony apparently, which is where the, but actually I'll help heal here first. I'll put a heal on him as well, although he seems to have an overshield. So one thing I will do is keep an eye on healing my allies, but I won't go out of my way to do it. The thing that will really be the healer of this group still is the in-between fights, just going out of combat. I'm set to electric, because I swapped character, of course, but one thing I can do is yeah, I tried to see if I had line of sight to him, but I didn't. One thing I can do still is actually give so while the Redify isn't, of course, at 6 skill tiers, so it can't instantly... see, actually, okay, I do get someone back up to full, even with... oh yeah, let me swap my target list. So I'm going for Yuzina. So it isn't the 6 skill tier, so here I only have 1, of course, with the BTSU. What I can do is still get us an overcharge, but it just needs a little bit more setup time. The chest is on the balcony, so I'm gonna go over there and actually get that done. Or I already got the loot, likely then. Or there's also sometimes an issue where it doesn't show for some players, and that may have happened, but I likely got it and wasn't paying attention. As yeah, it's been a long day and my focus is waning. And I'll actually try to do that supercharge, basically entering this next area.
10 minutes to log down.
And the way to do that is basically with the BTSU, I can still give myself an overcharge even if I would have 0 skill tiers. But once I do that, I'm considered to be at 6 skill tiers, and then if I do it again inside of that time, then it considers it a supercharge. So tossing it out there, deconstructing it once, tossing a fresh hive out. So that's overcharged me, and this second deconstruct supercharged the rest. Or I may not have gotten the deconstruct in time. Usually I wait for a few charges, and usually I also try to not get hit. Also, I was going for that, but then I got sidetracked in my conversation there and tried to go for over there. I'll stay in the circle, because yeah, trying to get it is usually just that side of it.
Critical systems exposed.
Basically, I would see the overcharge symbol on my allies if I had done it correctly. But then now I'm on a 2 minutes timer before I can overcharge myself once more. Trying to see what the marker is for. Oh, it was the server that I was by.
Data transfer halted. High-risk target approaching.
An agent.
And this build as well, still even with that, with the BTSU, so not being the Coyote variant, but a little bit more Healy variant, still kills. It can still take care of itself well enough.
Secure.
Agent, you can access the waste area. Do me a favor and take a decontamination shower before you come
And I
back.
don't think I've ever specifically gone out of my way to do a calculation sheet on this. So I would actually be curious to put it up against so the thing I'm thinking of doing the calculation sheet as is first comparing it just to the reds that I usually do and the striker, and but then also having it be compared to the ongoing directive and the red true patriot, and then also having a third calculation with I'm gonna wait for my allies.
Agent,
The third calculation where I try to see how much it is adding to groups. So what the difference would be between 8 strikers and then as combined group
Reconnected.
damage output. So 8 builds calculated together versus 7 of them with a red FI.
We need to secure that tank and get it back into the sarcophagus.
Go for the flank.
Basically, I already know that the red with the red FI, then they do more. I'm gonna start pushing towards. I'm gonna leave my hive there, and I'm gonna push towards the objective. We've lost 2 people already. 1 left right at the start, likely unaware that the issue with the false starts has been somewhat mitigated. I'm gonna put a cam on myself, heal myself up, get that future initiative buff on myself. Back up.
That should be the source of the leak. Now we just need to seal those tanks.
I'm gonna attempt it again. So I'm deconstructing my hive. So this time, what I usually do is actually be concerned about putting it somewhere where no one's in it really, so it has enough charges to reach. And there, I could have supercharged everyone. Although actually, because yeah, normally you would see the overcharged UI on people, but it wouldn't also surprise me that that has been broken for a while and I haven't noticed or something. But I will likely check on the footage if their skills got reset, because that would also be an indication that it worked. Because there I don't feel it worked, but
5 minutes to lock down.
and that would surprise me because then they would have
Great.
changed it.
Seal that bunker and stop exposing your team to not so low doses of radiation.
I'm trying to get behind here, actually. That's where I'm going. Blow myself up. Need to see where... there's their owner.
Nice. The plant's secure. Now let's
I'm
get
just
you
gonna
out of there.
check if my...
Move to the extraction point.
That is...
Shoot off a flare so Torres knows you're ready to go.
some loot over there. Check which extraction it is. Okay, it is pretty far one, so shouldn't hang around too long. Yeah, it doesn't have a chevron, so not that interested. And yeah, I do want to not hang around here too much. We have quite a walk till we reach the extraction. I'm hoping that ally doesn't trigger at all, but he likely will. Because yeah, we can kill one hunter quite easily coming from this side. If we get to kill him real quick, but otherwise he will fall back, and bunched up they are a lot more dangerous. Okay, but he's waited. Yeah, the trigger point is right about now.
System curtailed.
Agent, stay frosty. Hunters incoming.
Because yeah, if you're solo run into him, he'll just fall back. You won't be able to kill him fast enough. Waiting for the disrupt to end there, because then I can just put one on myself. So I won't deploy my my hive, of course. Here I don't want it to be hacked. But if I can get a chem on someone, I will. I'm just going after moments of opportunity. If I can heal up people, I will. But I'm not going to go out of my way for it. And most of my healing is going to be that initial burst of the chem. Not so much actually the chem. But here I'm jammed again. Oh yeah, I'm not survivalist, of course, because I'm not. No, I was thinking of. We have one enemy, one hunter here, which is quite dangerous.
System restored.
If I can, I'll heal him up. So most of the hunters should be dead at this point, I'm hoping.
System disrupted.
We shouldn't let this this thing heal up as much as it's doing there.
Vital signs critical.
We have one hunter here still. Because yeah, once the hunter is dead, I can actually get my hive out, and that will help heal people quite a lot better than me just trying to. I think I'm gonna do is just toss a grenade at that hunter.
When you're ready, send up a flare so Torres can pick you up.
I think that was one of the ones that was... Oh no, that's him. Oh yeah, my healing is very much not so much strong. I'm gonna put my hive down. It's the final hunter there. He's gonna die before he would... For him to hack, he would need to like, actually take the second to do it. He won't while he's in combat, so at that point, it's safe to...
Inbound on your location.
Not sure how many seconds we still had left there. Well, so it doesn't really matter. It's actually still surprising that that felt as much of a struggle, even even there.
Let's get you home, Agent.
chopper is already here, so yeah, there's no reason to stick around here. Because yeah, the next one won't. Just check just in case it's it's might just be the closer I'm after, but unlikely.
I'm impressed. I was pretty sure we're gonna lose the
We did get all hunters, so we did get 158. Not a big difference, but it adds up over time.
Safe area detected.
You swear an oath that means something. No matter what.
Yeah, let's see
Hey, Adrian.
what the looted parts were, although I didn't even loot much, of course.
Business with you.
So I'm curious to see actually if that kind of worked or not. Or if they have changed that at some point. Because it has been a while that I've actually used that tactic. Because usually I have been running it mostly on my other account where I do run it as a vigilance with a coyote. Just as a damage dealer, basically. I'm just checking real quick that if I have a glove. I mean, I'm not going to have a glove with another FI piece. Because yeah, this character does have several FI builds, including a half healer and the full healer. But of course, they're all going to use the BTSU glove because yeah, they're more centered around healing. But I'll run this actually just with a group of glove, and just to get a feel if that feels different. It should. I mean, it's likely going to be, it's both a brand bonus of 15 crit damage, it's a core of 15 weapon damage, and another 12 crit damage and another 6 crit chance from miners. So yeah, moving one of those pieces over is actually quite, it tanks your crit chance, crit damage by quite a lot. Just one piece. But yeah, I'm gonna grab the group of glove there, and I'm gonna take us into another challenging countdown. And I'm mostly just
To another agent's group.
relearning red FIs a little bit, seeing
I've joined a group.
if I kind of remember them. So one thing I also run as a secondary here quite often is, especially on the safeguard variant, was that I would usually run this mechanical animal. And that's just for those extra skill tiers. Because yeah, with the safeguard variant especially, I would consider it an actual healer. Also got a new skin actually for the SIGs. One that I hadn't looked at yet, so just taking a peek. And that's from the premium track of this season, which I did finally get this morning.
Offline.
Cleaners have infiltrated the power plant.
Yeah, we're fighting cleaners.
I'd rather not have their slash and burn tactics anywhere near a nuclear reactor. We need to remove the virus from the control servers and restore comms.
Answering someone quickly on Discord in the background. There we go.
Reactor unstable. Emergency lockdown protocols activated. 15 minutes lockdown.
Trojan virus detected. Safety protocols activated.
So there's a lot of lower level players here. But yeah, that doesn't need to mean anything. I'm gonna put a grenade on him. That's just gonna push him out. But also both teams already got together here just because of the way that we spawned. And that is gonna make things a lot easier here. And we're going to get the close range buff as well. And that's going to be this middle one here. So those 3 directives as well are locked to... It's always the middle one is the one on the west. This central one is the one on the right, which is not going to be the... So you can always kind of tell which ones you're about to get. And then that left one is the one on the east. It would have made more sense if they were aligned east to west, but yeah, I'll be asking too much, likely. Someone's running opportunistic as well, and there we were. I saw a 3 million pellet hit of a Scorpio on this build, so that's... Yeah, that's like... Those numbers are real. Are unreal almost. So yeah, containment is likely the one we'll skip with VIP.
Shade tech detected.
Although there's so many low-level players that I wouldn't be surprised if half the team went in there. But also, the VIP containment is the least worst of the VIPs. Just because containment is so tiny. Chest isn't up here.
Rogue incinerator turret detected. Hostile incinerator turret detected. Rogue sniper turret detected.
I'm gonna push up over here.
Sniper turret detected.
With my hive as well. Actually, oh, I thought that would be inside of the circle. It wasn't. Actually, I'll check for the crate here first. It isn't, so it's by the stairs over there. Put my hive over here.
High risk target detected.
I'm gonna make an effort to go for the chest real quick, just because it's a lot of lower level players and they likely will not know, but they'll see the loot and go for that. And they'll benefit just from extra loot.
Area secure.
So the choice would be a lab, because the admin is also next to it, so it's not too bad that we're going across the map. And likely, yeah, once, as long as the person in lead goes the right way, and the rest, lemmings to follow it. Which, I mean, is also the thing to do. It's usually to learn game modes, is just see what others are doing. Often they will be competent. Sometimes it will be, yeah, incompetent people showing you the wrong ways of doing it. But especially with matchmaking, you keep getting different people, so after a while you get a feel of, okay, that worked, this didn't. So the closer isn't specifically that it performs better, it's that it's going to allow me to have, because I don't have a really good choices for brands in there, but the closer with it extra, having it be on the talent makes it so that it's more worthwhile. Because actually on a red build, at least on an ungraded, when the weapon is not graded,
Evacuate the facility.
a closer with spotter and a Fenris with spotter actually end up at the same amount. But then when you add in that grading will diminish the weapon damage a little bit more. There's another healer here somewhere. Okay, yeah. Somebody else's. Oh, they're likely also likely full FI. I should have actually checked for that.
High value target neutralized.
There's, yeah, 2 FIs don't
High risk hostile.
stack on top of them. Yeah, because the talent of perfect closer is a difference multiplier, is its own amp. Then it can be worthwhile. So with closer, it's quite often dependent on if you're running out of choices, other choices, which is my reason to go for it. And that was a supercharge as well on their part, so they're likely a full FI. Or you are going for a fully maxed out build, and then the closer can usually beat out a Fenris with spotter, but you of course have, with gear sets and stuff, you have the option of going Seska with spotter, and then that beats that again. So quite often it ends up you just need to calculate it out. And usually on calculation it will be obvious which one is better than the other. But then closer is hard to get, so that becomes a practical situation as well of, do you really want to go for it and get farm that unicorn piece?
Agent, you've reached the administration building. I need you to fix the
Because yeah, you're probably seeing the issues I'm having with trying to find one.
Trojan virus detected. Safety protocols activated.
Yeah, with the close range buff active, this is way too easy.
I know it's your favorite job. Need you to search the control room and find the server.
Actually, I'm gonna go towards the objective. I could swap to ongoing directive and actually be a little bit more useful, but
Initiating safety protocol.
I'm also fine. Actually, I should check whenever the other player supercharges, because he's, I need to have the name first. Okay. I'm being shot as well. I should not do that. And that's why you don't just stand out in the open and do that. But yeah, they spawned behind me now, so that's the excuse. That's
Nice job.
I'm pleading back spawn.
Now?
Oh yeah, they're just full FI. I'm gonna go for the balcony or whichever one isn't being gotten yet.
High-risk target approaching. Rogue striker drone detected.
Okay, they're
Hostile striker
getting it now.
drone detected.
Oh yeah, this build doesn't hit for 2.7 million like it did there normally. Just making sure that that's not a setup, because then it would be actually worth it. It spawned underneath us.
Whoever said tech support was boring. One more server and you can reboot
Okay,
the system.
this player's getting that one. There's a player over there. And over there.
Safety protocol.
It's gonna give it a second if... Oh, that was surprisingly effective. So even with... So now we're in a team that is very low-level players, actually. But, well, they stepped out of the circle. So I'm gonna actually go get this one. Because, yeah, they need to actually stick in it. Hopefully someone will re-enter the lounge one as well.
Evacuate the facility.
But yeah, they did trigger them right away.
Communication systems shutdown initiating.
Yeah.
Safety protocols to cancel.
Actually, the player that left them. Oh yeah, no, you don't get the icon. That's actually been gone for a while then. Well, so there a supercharge happened because I received the supercharge from them, and from memory, I remember there being in the same vein that the St. Elmo's mark or
Communications restored.
gear set marks or
Great
something
work, Agent.
are on
Now the
players.
plan is stable.
That you saw that there, but that might have been gone for
Torres is waiting for your
quite a
signal.
while already.
Shoot off a flare when you're ready to come home.
I should actually keep an eye out also for stats. If any decent stuff drops, a lot of these players could benefit from just even maxed out stats. Although yeah, armor isn't an important one. I'm gonna deconstruct my hive. It's not a far
Armed hostiles detected.
one. The extraction, at least. Actually, it is across the map. It's by the containment. One. Hopefully that player doesn't go down again, because yeah, they've put themselves at the tip of the fight. But yeah, if they die there again, which they almost lost all their armor right away, then they're still in weakened state, so they would just flat out die. I'm gonna take a left here and go this way and solo a hunter because close range buff. I'll actually take that cold relation to share.
Shoot off a flare when you're ready for Torres to bring you home.
Taking him out. Get down.
Here, cabaret, that one, that one. Hopefully they don't call it in way too quick. Yeah, that way. Loot up here still. It should be all of the loot. Yep. I'm gonna make a effort to find that very low level player. Don't see their name tag. Oh, there we go. And I'm just gonna drop stuff underneath their feet, basically. I have no use for any of these, and they might still need the stats, they might still need... Oh yeah, somebody was a dick and ran over and just deconstructed them, which... Because they didn't get looted, is the reason. Actually,
Helo inbound to your location. Hold tight.
yeah, they didn't get looted, so somebody ran over and deconstructed them. Which, yeah, is... I mean, something some people even still do to eagle bearers that people are after. I don't think we get another offer out of this. Yeah, we can actually, yeah. Just barely, likely. Mostly because we have the close range buff. So these will die really quick. Make sure any drop would just get picked up real quick and then we're gonna run away.
keep working together like that, and
Actually, I was one hunter short, I see there. I likely actually didn't go back for the Pierre ones. Missed likely a few at the from the extraction because I think we got all 4 hunters at the start. I didn't actually loot anything to inventory at all. But yeah, that was also a little bit. That's the downside with the close range buff. It can really, you can't basically get good data when you try to. Because yeah, I'm trying to get a feel for how each build feels. The ones was with damage to targets out of cover. I might have kept it or replaced likely something in my stash with it. But yeah, not as it is there. Because yeah, I do have a close to full collection of SMGs. I think I'm still actually missing one of the UMPs because I have the police one, but I don't have, which one is this one called? Yeah, this one was also police. There's another variant of the UMP. And that's just for completionist's sake. It's most of these weapons are not actually useful to keep around. Especially in the SMG category, there's a limited set that really works well. Especially, for instance, this SMG9. The A2 kind of works, but the normal one really doesn't. But I have a full collection, basically, that is all optimized and free talentable. And with damage to targets out of cover, which took some time to farm and put together. Just out of my own curiosity, do I have all 3 of the AUGs? I do. Actually, I do have the other. This is the tactical UMP. I should actually, at some point, recheck and see which ones I'm missing, because especially, I believe I also have a full set of the rifle ones. And that could come in use actually pretty soon. I especially don't have the marksman rifles. I really don't have. Should have most of the types of shotguns as well, and most of the LMGs. Although I'm working on re-getting everything with rate of fire, because initially I mostly took damage to armor, which yeah, is almost none of these are still just with DTA, and that was just for testing purposes. That was the easier way for me to deal with the weapons, because yeah, if you also have to deal with their RPMs all not being matching with normal ones, can be kind of annoying. But in the end, that also isn't how I usually run them, because yeah, it's almost always rate of fire. Either rate of fire or crit chance is the stats that LMGs should have. And most of the SMGs lately, I probably have the full set actually of SMGs, at least the base ones. So that doesn't include names. In the ARs, the same. I don't keep all of the names because most of them are not practical, but something, for instance, like a rail splitter that I also would never use, really, I do keep around just to have, as yeah, that one's an easy item. I'm gonna matchmake for one more countdown, see if we get one without close range buff, get a feel for this build a little bit more. And that also will likely be it for me for this evening.
You are now in a group.
Well, we're just gonna check if I'm the group lead or not. So we have strikers with Picaros. We have Black Void that is Heartbreaker with a Catharsis. Armor regen build with Elmo. Strikers with Group Obliterate. I just thrown together heartbreakers. Actually, while I'm waiting for this to fill in, I'm just gonna check on the YouTube side of things as to how that video upload went. Okay, and it is processed. Okay, so that's nice. Yeah, after this stream, I briefly need to check I've done all of the timestamps correctly. Yeah, we have a ton of damage dealers, although most of them with a few blue cores are just not the optimal layouts, but usually even close enough to good choices is more than enough. They are closer to being good builds than bad builds, so this should not be a hard one.
The True Sons have triggered a lockdown at the plant. They've been taking over infrastructure to lend legitimacy to their cause. If they control the power, they control this region.
See, my allies running already, so that means that, yeah, we have
We need to get control of the experimental reactor.
we have that bug already. Very low level players with us. That's it's actually nice to see still, yeah.
Emergency lockdown protocols activated.
New blood coming into the game.
Lockdown.
Magnetic containment failure. Elevated threat of EMP discharge.
I'm still disrupted, so I can't assist my ally there with healing him. Now I can. And yeah, they burnt through it fast enough. Yeah, this time we don't get the close range buff, which for carrying is worse, but for or for getting through it fast is worse, but is actually what I very much want to. It's too bad that that player didn't stick with the rest. That will cost him a little bit of the requisitions. I'm gonna Scorpio here because, yeah, I'm expecting, especially lower level players like that, to not have a Scorpio. Or not to have as many Scorpios as you would with a high level team. Doesn't have to be the case, but just an educated guess, basically. Also keeping an eye out on the skills of my allies if anything gets deployed, because then I'll just turn around and try to focus that down if I have to.
System functioning.
So we have okay, so turbine containment
System
laboratory is our order, because yeah, VIPs has cooling towers. Okay, that ally did the thing that was needed there. That's nice. I'm gonna put my hive down here, heal myself up, heal that other ally up. Although I might likely be out of range of it. I want to see actually. Okay, I mostly healed him there just to see if the burst would
target approaching.
heal him back to full, which it did.
Area secure.
It's gonna do a quick chest check. And yeah, I'll do the full circle for it. And it's over here. I get the feeling the team has split. Oh no! Oh no! They're mostly gone. Containment.
Closing in on the target.
For a second, I was afraid that they had gone for VIP cooling tower. Because yeah, that one is a chore because of how spread out the cooling tower is. Basically, everything in the cooling tower just takes longer than than anywhere else. I see that it's this chest.
Target detected.
Yeah, especially with these low-level players again, yeah. I do want to get it pretty early so that they're more likely to see it.
Blinder fire.
I'm gonna... All my allies are very bunched up over here, so I'll go over here just to also heal them.
Target neutralized.
Or get the hive out basically on them.
To lock down. Evacuate the facility.
Excessive magnetic discharge detected. EMP system purge.
And yeah, the healing on this build isn't that great.
Risk target detected.
Could be pretty obvious. It's a 0, well, it's a 1-tier shield
You should
hive.
be able to access the lab.
That's just from Technician. Don't have that BTSU giving it the second one. I don't have any repair skill rolls. Checking to see if anybody had any skills on cooldown. I wouldn't mind trying again, seeing if that if the double hive still works to give the people supercharge. Nobody has anything on cooldown, which and we're making it here with plenty of time. Though the extraction will be...
Agent, you've reached the lab.
Actually, I don't know what the extraction is going to be because both teams spawned at the same spot, but it's either going to be north or west. No, east. We spawned west, so...
You're in. Now?
Either way, it's going to be the longest walk, basically. The
Warning.
extraction.
Experimental reactor unstable.
But this team actually... I always hate that shot. It's so hard to just aim over the consoles, but somebody else got it anyway in the end.
Magnetic containment failure. Elevated threat of EMP discharge.
Nice work on the valve. Now, I need you to expose the reactor's core.
See the closed chest.
Good. Now, you just need to destroy the magnetic core. You should be fine.
I see that the spawn happened right here behind me, so I'm gonna just work on them a little bit. Just gonna hide myself here.
High risk target detected.
Yeah, this Redify, I mean, it's noticeably weaker than Red, just a Red build. But, I mean, of course it is. But it's still, as with the Red Patriot, as with the Red Ongoing Directive, it's still, it can kill well enough. And of course, it's not just a less good red build, it's doing other things and providing bonuses to the team. Should have actually checked what that stat was, because I had a max stat. So actually I'm gonna try it here now. Oh, I didn't even get an overcharge from it, strangely. Because several people have. Oh, I don't have a BTC anymore. I'm an idiot.
Target approaching.
And then, yeah, that shows that
System restored.
I've completely lost focus, and yeah, this will be my last run for the evening. Because I was trying to do the BTSU overcharge thing, but for that, one of the requirements is to have the BTSU
Detected.
actually equipped, which I currently do not.
5 minutes to lockdown. Experimental reactor offline.
Containment field failure. EMP discharge required to stabilize reactor.
System disrupted. System reactivated.
Great work, Agent. The power plant is stable. Now get the hell out of there. Torres is waiting for your signal. Shoot off a flare when you're ready to come home.
Chest, of course. I'll grab that as well. Oh yeah, there's the eastern extraction, which means that, yeah, we have quite a walk till we reach that point. At least that group leading the charge is nice and bunched up, so they should be able to quickly kill one of the hunters.
Heavily armed hostiles detected.
No. Attempt to. Kinda worked.
System malfunctioning.
I'm gonna stay with the big group here, so yeah, normally I would actually take the... But yeah, I'm being a bit more support. It's handy for me to be close to the biggest group.
Agent down. Get out of there.
Strange that nobody got him. Really want this box gone.
System disrupted.
Ah. Was about to pull out my cam and put a charge out, but...
Medical assistance.
So I've hit my health gate, so I need to be not sniped the second time.
System back online.
But I'm gonna rush this guy down,
Deceased.
Scorpio him. We lost 2 people on extraction.
Torres is waiting for your signal. Shoot off
I'm hoping nobody calls it in too quickly. Gonna assume all the hunters are dead and put that hive out. But yeah, the amount of healing on that hive is very minimal actually. And the red of fire really does benefit from its own buff. So whenever it doesn't have the full it doesn't have full armor, so it doesn't receive its own buff, then it actually does hurt kind of.
Kilo inbound on your location.
I think I got all of the hunter loot. Just gonna take a white bird here and over there, nothing missed, nope. We can get one more chopper if most people stick around. Just gonna jam a pulse up there as well. So time is very much concern here, but we still have enough. And yeah, you always want to make it with at least 3 seconds left of that chopper. Sometimes there's a little bit of lag latency.
This entire
Yeah, I
region
did get
owes
all
you
of
a
the
debt.
hunter loot because we got full coins. And yeah, that's kind of a good reminder of how powerful this build kind of is or isn't. It's not bad. It's very much like the Red Patriot kind of.
Agent, good to be seeing you.
One of the things that I have, especially that I'm going to go into as well when I do the build showcase, is actually, so here I was running it with the AR, and I actually, in the same way with as with the
Thank you, Agent.
Red Patriot and the Red Ongoing Directive, I should feel LMGs are a much better choice for them. And that's mostly just so you can have that third stat be crit chance, as they benefit quite a lot from that. So, and that's actually how I have it on my other accounts, Redify. And I'll show both basically and go through all of them, through all of the minutia of it. Another 2 exotic caches, another 2 chances of Elmos. But that's an AR, but not the right one. That's the exact same AR twice. Yeah, sometimes RNG stacks up like that and
To see you, Agent.
gives you a few in a row. And yeah, I have no purpose for extra chameleons. I do have a maxed out one that I keep around just in case. I mean, also, I just want to have one of each exotic at all times, just in case of changes or trying them out from time to time. We're also going to check if that Firefly mod is of any use. I'll hang on to it because I've noticed actually that in some categories, I'm still actually pretty behind on getting. See if I can. I'm getting close to full or full mods. This character shouldn't struggle from that, but especially my fourth character kind of struggles from that. So I'm keeping an eye out more on those as well. But yeah, that's going to be it for me for this evening. I'll be streaming tomorrow evening as well, and likely continuing to do so for every evening for the coming time, at least till the 10th, I believe. So that is, don't actually remember what the date currently is. Okay, so that's another 4 days. Oh yeah, so till at least Monday. I'll be streaming most evenings. So thank you all for joining me. Thank you, thank you all that also watched the VODs, and if you made it this far into that VOD, thank you very much. And yeah, hope to see you guys for the next one. Have a good night.